You got to keep them how you got them. Sometimes you got a customer with a certain identity that you had in the way that they see you, but they don't even know over the winter, you might have leveled up your whole identity. You might have got around some really successful business owners and realized, whoa, I got to take this way more serious. This is my future here, my business. I have to make profit. So the sooner you pull this lever, the better. You're going to have to strategically raise the prices on your customers, but you're going to have to do it elegantly. There's a saying, you got to keep them how you got them. This is so powerful. I'm out doing quotes right now. I just turned a $450 quote into a $4,500 job, offering stuff to the customer wanted to get done anyways, and they were happy about it. And it's more work and more profit for us. Now, when I say you got to keep them how you got them, this is one of the most powerful stories I ever heard. When you go to a customer and you say you've done a job for them for a year or 2 or 3, and you normally charge whatever you normally charge, and you realize it's too low, the price is too low. It's not enough to afford you to hire employees legitimately or pay them a price you're proud of or reinvest so you can get like another truck and a dump trailer and a shop or whatever you need. You got to raise your prices, but you got to keep them how you got them very carefully. There's a mathematical algorithm. It's a precise thing that if you went across the board and you raise the prices on all your current customers, got to look it up. I don't have it on me right now, but it's basically you're going to lose some customers for sure, depending on how much you raise the price. And if you do a dramatic price increase, you're going to lose more customers. But the math says, I forgot what the ratio is. I think it's if you raise the price 20% on all your customers, you'll end up losing exactly like 20% of your clients. So the math ends up being something like, don't quote me on this, you'll end up making the same amount of money for far less work, right? 20% less work. Don't quote me on that. But anyways, you got to keep them how you got them. So the customers that you are, how you got them, and you gave them a certain price then, you have a certain price precedence with those customers that know you, like you, and trust you, and vice versa. So if you start doing dramatic price increases, they might buck the system and quit. Some of these people might reveal to you that they don't even care about you. Most of them do, but a lot of them don't. And they might drop you for a tiny little price increase, right? They're just looking for the cheapest price. And that's okay, because if you know how to market and advertise your business and you have so many new leads coming in, you could build a business that you love with a clientele that you really enjoy your business. That's a healthy, profitable, lean, mean, money-making machine. And it's going to be awesome. Real quick, I'm going to tell you more how to raise your prices, but I do have a totally free workshop, the Level Up Your Landscaping Business Workshop. It's coming in real quick in 2 weeks here. Put the link in the description below. It's keithkelfis.com/level-up. And it's a totally free workshop. I'll show you how to raise your prices. It's really good stuff. And you get a free workbook. So anyways, you got to keep them how you got them. The identity that you have when you're first starting or your first year in your business, you might be in scarcity mode running around. You're excited, but maybe you don't know how much to charge and you're afraid the customer will say no and you need money. So desperation sometimes pushes away money. So you get these customers and then you realize you need to raise the price, and you raise the price, you lose your customers. Well, you got to keep them how you got them. Sometimes you got a customer with a certain identity that you had in the way that they see you, but they don't even know over the winter, you might have leveled up your whole identity. You might have got around some really successful business owners and realized, whoa, I got to take this way more serious. This is my future here, my business. I have to make profit. The customers don't know that. They just see you in the truck with the logos and cutting the grass or trimming the shrubs. You have to go get brand new customers with your new leveled up identity at the new price precedence. And here's the funny thing. Let's say you charge a customer $500 all the time, every time you do their property. And then you really need to charge $800. Well, you try to charge $800 and they're like, whoa, because they're so used to paying $500 that here's the most important part. They feel like they're getting penalized for no other reason than you just want to make more money. It doesn't feel fair to them. Something doesn't feel right if it's that much of a price increase. But you can go get a brand new customer. It could be same subdivision, same neighborhood, but right around the block, same exact job scope. But you just met these customers for the first time with your current identity, which is your new leveled up identity and price precedents that you set with them. You don't even try. There's no scarcity. You just say, oh yes, Mrs. Jones will do this, this, and this. Garden beds, bushes, lawn, whatever. It's going to be $800. And we can do it next Tuesday. And Mrs. Jones says, okay, sweet. Do you need a deposit check? Mrs. Jones might be thinking, oh, only $800? You don't know what Mrs. Jones is thinking, but I've been in this business long enough to where I actually have customers that I'm super cool with tell me, like, I'm surprised at how low your prices are. I thought they should be higher. And I'm like, what? Like, I've been in this business long enough to where I know I've raised my prices again and again and again to where more than 50% of the people are saying no. Like, you kind of dial in your close rate based off what the market can bear. There's some math in there. But I still have, I recently had a customer and I was blown away say, your price should be higher. And I say to the customer, hey, I run a fair, honest business and I charge what I need to charge to make the business work. And I would never just raise your prices just because. And you've been my great customer for a long time and I do charge you appropriately. So that was just the customer's price perception. They might have gotten some crazy high quotes. Compared to my market, I do charge a fair rate, but my prices are on the expensive side because I want to afford to give the customer quality time and service and make sure we don't feel like we have to cut corners or anything. That's crazy. If you're charging so low where you feel so pressured that you feel like you have to cut corners or you actually do skimp or cut corners, it's not good business and it's going to come back and bite you and it's going to be your fault. So back to what I was saying, you got to keep them how you got them. Customer A, $500, price too low. You want to charge them $800 and they're like, no way. Customer B, same price. You come in at $800 and they're just like, okay, because they don't know anything. They just see you. They don't even know what landscaping costs. You might still be undercharging at $800. It might be $1,100. But what I'm saying is you have to look at your identity and the thoughts and beliefs that you're creating based off of, like, if you're in a scarcity mindset and you're in your first few years of your business and you need money and you're pricing things too low, you might be literally, this is so crazy, getting a whole bunch of cheap, nitpicky clients and customers and building an entire business and building belief systems saying, what do you mean? These customers aren't willing to pay anymore. I can't find any employees because it's happening to you all the time. You start to believe that that's all that exists. But there's another truth. If you move upstream, you're co-creating that entire reality and building those beliefs based off the type of customers you're attracting. This is some spooky stuff, but it's real. I've watched this happen in my own business. I'm qualified to talk about this. When you level up your whole identity, it's scary because your comfort zone, you'll stay comfortable even if it doesn't serve you. Some people will go through perpetual suffering because their subconscious mind knows at least it's survivable. At least I can survive. The unknown is scarier than that. So you're going to have to leap into the unknown, but you don't have to leap all the way. You could just take a little tiny strategic mathematical transition, like a fulcrum, and split test your way into the unknown. So it's very low risk by saying, all right, this customer, I normally charge $500 to do this. We got plenty of work on the books. I'm going to raise the price and I'm going to charge what I really should be charging, which is $800. You tell the customer $800, even if you're scared. The customer says yes. And then another customer says yes. And you go, wait a second. This whole time it was me just projecting this entire thing. If you got any yeah buts right now, I understand the yeah buts. I've been through them. I ran a whole scarcity business for like 4 years. And it was really stressful. A scarcity business. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't make the mistake that I made. Level up. All right, I hope that served you. You got to keep them how you got them. Means you got to keep a customer sometimes the same price at what you got them. But if they're a cool customer and they pay on time and it's easy to do business with them, just do a small price increase, 10% or something like that. Even if it's 5%, you better be raising the price. And then continue to do business with them.